Hey guys. So typically, whenever I record videos, I record them a couple of times. And I usually do that because I'm very concerned about how it looks, trying to get it as perfect as possible, whether or not, if something is not perfect, will people still watch it? Will it be a distraction? But I have made a vow. Seriously, guys. Can't make this stuff up. I've made a vow to post this video on the first take, regardless of how it goes. And I have Ro here with me. I don't know if you guys have met Ro. I mean, if you watch my Instagram stories, you've probably seen Ro. This is Ro. I got Ro for my 28th birthday from my friends Ciarra and Ciarra. And we were just in IKEA one day, and I've always liked stuffed animals. I can't say that I'm gonna stop myself there because I was about to take something back for myself. I just saw it and was like, oh, that's so cute. But you know, it wasn't why I was there, so of course I didn't buy it. But they bought it for me and they gave it to me for my birthday. And me and Ro spend a lot of time together. I sleep with Ro, literally, like every night. I used to have this pillow, this body pillow, and my mom used to call it my boyfriend pillow. Because I used to just, like, literally, it didn't matter if I was watching TV in the living room or if I was in my bed or what, like, I needed my pillow. And I really haven't had any pillow like that until Ro. So this is me being transparent. So literally when I go to sleep, I put Ro like this and I wrap their arms around me. Ro has no gender. And I sleep like this. And it really makes me feel good. Like, especially if I had a bad day or if you know, I'm just not feeling well or I can't sleep, like literally Ro has healing powers. But yeah, so Ro is here for support. I am making this video today because I made a t-shirt. Spoiler alert. But also I want to talk about why I made the t-shirt and why it took me so long to share it with you guys. So for as long as I can remember, I was teased for being different. I was teased for being too proper or too well spoken or, you know, just for being myself, really. I'm gonna get some water. I don't like crying on camera. Okay, so and I'm sure there are people out there who can relate. Just like being called out for doing things that are a part of who you are. And you fast forward that, and first, backstory, I'm a Virgo. Those of you that know. But yeah, so I'm a Virgo, and Virgo sun. And I am really analytical, super critical, very particular. A lot of people call us perfectionist. And, you know, I just picky, whatever you want to call it. The way that I organize and the way that I do things somehow leads people to think that I'm less than human, or that I don't have feelings, or like, guys, like the conversations that I have with people, I've had the most, I don't know, and I mean, I'm 29 now. When I was 23, I read the Four Agreements. Okay, I'm lying. I listened to it. It was probably my first experience with an audiobook. Aside from like, when you would get like a kid's book when you were little and you have like the CD in the back. So I listened to it and I was like, wow, this makes so much sense. But I feel like I'm still working on it. Like, whew, okay? It's work. It's work every day, not to take things personally. I've had to work really, really hard to acknowledge my own feelings and to care about how I feel about things as much as I care about other people's feelings. Excuse me. I don't like crying on camera. Plus, I put on mascara today for y'all. But yeah, so the pressure that you put on yourself, the pressure that society puts on you, the pressure that other people put on you, even when they don't try to, it's overwhelming. And I constantly find myself in these situations where I'm talking to people about everyday stuff. And they're just like, wow, I don't know, I just never thought you would feel that way, or I never thought you would go through that. And I just want to, those memes where they be like, check on your strong friends. Strong friends don't try to be strong. It's just how we are. But it doesn't help. It doesn't help when you put us on a pedestal or try to, how can I put this clearly? So it's totally okay to look up to a person. It's totally okay to do that. I have people I look up to. But if you have made up in your mind that this person fits into this box, and then this and then that and then this and then that, and it's like you share that with them, it's like, ooh, okay, well, I better not let them down. And you find yourself in this cycle, and it's really hard to get out of it. And I've been working on this for years, and I still have a really hard time, like, identifying my feelings, being human, dealing with people's reactions when they realize I'm human, because that's inevitable. It's inevitable. And it got to a point for a while where I was so afraid. I was so afraid for somebody to, like, look up to me or believe in me or whatever, because the pressure of, I don't want to say believe in me, because that makes it seem like, all the people that believe in me are putting pressure on me, and that's not their responsibility. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is there are people who approach me as if I am just perfect. And when they find out that I'm not, because they find out that I drink, some of my friends call me a lush. They find out that I drink, or they find out that I don't know the answer to everything, or they find out that, I'm not as smart as I thought I would, or I made a mistake, or I was late, or whatever. Like, the look on their faces and the way they respond to me completely changes, because they made up in their mind that I was just this perfect person, and I'm not. And so then for a while, I went on like a mission. I was on a mission to, like, prove to people how not perfect I was. And I would just do stuff, like, just to make sure everyone knew I wasn't perfect. And so I'm saying all this to say, life is beautiful, but it can be difficult to navigate. And I can't speak for anybody else's issues or what anybody else is carrying, but I know that for me and for people like me, we can be our own worst enemies. But it takes practice. It takes practice not to take things personally. It takes practice not to take on the pressure of other people's image of you. It takes practice. And I'm still practicing. And I made a video similar to this a little over a year ago because I had an anxiety attack for the first time. And it was really confusing because there was all this great stuff happening. Like, I had all this really awesome stuff happening in my life. And I was like, why am I having an anxiety attack? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And luckily, I had a great, wonderful roommate who was there for me throughout it. And I have some really awesome friends who supported me, in the days after. But it takes practice. It takes practice. And it's taken me until now to realize that my anxiety wasn't triggered by negative things. It was triggered by the pressure of all the new attention that I was getting and everything that I was working on. And it's not that I don't believe in myself, because I do, but I would like to be able to share my talents and all the wonderful things that I can do without feeling the pressure. Like, I would love to be able to say that, I started doing this thing and it was great. And even though it was great, I just didn't want to do it anymore. So I stopped. I would feel like so much shame because I put this pressure on myself to live up to other people's expectations. And I want to remind myself that I'm human and that I'm just as human as everybody else. And, I'm sure you guys have read the shirt. It says superhuman. It's not superhuman in the sense that, like, I have superpowers. That's not what it is. It seems like that. It seems that way sometimes, but it's superhuman in the sense that I am very human. I'm extremely human. I fall down, I make mistakes, I have regrets. I don't always have the answer. And so I had the idea for this like a long time ago. Didn't want to release it for whatever reason. No need to go back into it. I've had ideas for t-shirts and hats and things like that since like 2013. And so putting all the excuses aside, putting all of the pressure aside, putting all of the planning aside, like trying to make sure everything is exactly perfect and looking exactly the way it needs to be, I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. So I made a shirt. If you are interested in wearing one of the shirts, the link is in my bio. I think that we can all afford to be a little more human, and then we could all afford to feel the freedom to be superhuman. So I hope you guys enjoy the t-shirts. I hope that, you know, if you decide to support, which will be greatly appreciated, because this small Black woman-owned business, all of my businesses, you know, things have been interesting. Things have been interesting since this pandemic started. I know my fellow entrepreneurs can relate, and even the people who aren't entrepreneurs but are having to get creative with finding sources for income. If you decide to support, it would be greatly appreciated. And I hope that ultimately, if you've made it this far in the video, if you watched the whole thing, I hope that you will wear the shirt, or even just think of the shirt or think of this video and be reminded that you can be human too. That you don't always have to have it together, that it's okay not to be okay. And on that note, I'm going to stop rambling. Thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate it. Took a lot for me to do this, and it's probably still going to take a lot for me to post it, but I made a vow. So, thank you. Oh, Rose says bye.